Hey, T-Sauce, Tristan here. Dandelions are one of the most common flowers in America. You can find dandelions anywhere from people's front lawns to drainage areas. Really, they are one of those flowers that can be found anywhere. Dandelions are also extremely memorable, with those little puffy heads and those seeds that blow in the wind. But I have very fond memories of going out to my local park, picking a dandelion and watching the wind take the seeds and disperse them across the landscape. Now, dandelions are an example of one of those really charismatic flowers that have been integrated into our ecosystems and into our culture. In the case of dandelion, these are actually exotic species from Europe that outcompete all the species, a lot of the species that grow on the lawns, a lot of the small flowers that tend to grow here in Maine and in other parts of the United States. Exotic species that outcompete native species, whether it be animals or plants, are considered invasive species. Now, invasive species don't always become prevalent right off the bat. Many species like orchids or maybe even dandelions back in the olden days didn't immediately establish themselves and become dominant in an ecosystem. This phenomenon is known as an invasive species lag period. Now, a lag period looks something like this. So, you have your regular ecosystem that's just surviving, thriving, full of hemlocks, pines, other native species. Then, someone will come along and bring some kind of exotic plant. And they won't know that the plant doesn't belong there. They'll just accidentally release it from their yard. Maybe the plant produces seeds. But once that species finds purchase, it will begin to establish itself in an ecosystem of pines and all sorts of other things. Now, as you can see, it's here. Once this species becomes part of the ecosystem, it's there and will probably stick around, might even thrive for a bit in that ecosystem. However, once it starts to reproduce, more of it will become prevalent. And then if a disturbance comes through, like climate change, increasing the temperature, someone comes in and takes out the forest that was over the invasive species, you'll find that this disturbance causes the ecosystem to completely be changed by this invasive. And the invasive will often completely take over. Some invasive species like this, like kudzu, air potato, Burmese python, began as small introductions on accident, or people didn't know what the species would do once it got there, and they became dominant after disturbance or after enough time had passed, and the ecosystem is forever changed. As wildlife ecologists and the general public, what do we do about these invasive species that are already here and the ones that are coming in the future? Should we focus all our efforts into studying lag periods and trying to look into where these plants might be coming in from, or these species, and prevent them? Or allow nature to take its course and determine that climate change is on a rapid scale and these species are simply reacting to this change and are trying to thrive in spite of it? Honestly, I don't know the answer, but I think it might be a little bit of both. I think we should attack species that are coming in that we know are going to cause problems, and ones that we are aware are causing problems, but also prevent the ones that might be coming in the future, while keeping in mind that some species are simply reacting to climate change, and that ultimately it's climate change that we should be combating in addition to the invasive species coming through. Maybe fighting climate change is the most effective way to stop the spread of invasives. And as always, thanks for watching.